Hey, and welcome back to How to Be Real, a place where we can be real in a world that is obsessed with fake for whatever reason. I am Tasha B, and I'm an actor who is out here creating my own luck and making my own way in this industry.
Period. Yes. Okay. Cheers.
Yes.
Tink. And I'm Tay, and I am a creative strategist and overall lover of wellness.
All right. So with that and a little bit of faith, with that out the way, I go ahead and say, how you doing, Tay?
I'm still here. I very much am feeling that.
Yeah.
I feel good, but I feel like at the same time, life is sending me through some things.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning a lot. And I feel like my body is physically being like a little bit attacked by some of these learnings. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm all right. I feel like I'm taking every step, and like I feel like this past week was very difficult emotionally, and then also physically. I've been like, the allergies have just been attacking me. But overall, I'm bouncing back.
Yes, girl.
You know what I mean?
She back and she better.
You already know. What about you, Tasha B? How you doing?
I would say, I would say that this is like a season of tests for me. Like I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've read about and been counseled on in therapy and said I want to work on and I'm gonna do this next time. I feel like now the test is like, okay, well, are you? Are you gonna stand on business about these things? Are you gonna really show up that way? Can you? Are you? Now's the time. Let's see. And that's how it feels. And it is scary.
Yeah.
It is challenging. But at the same time, I'm just gonna, continue to show up. It feels very much like you said, you feel like your body's being attacked. I feel like I don't know, like my personhood is under attack. Like, you know what I mean? Just like random things where you feel like I'm having to stand ground and shit like that. So it's just like a lot of that going on.
The universe is like, you about to break this pattern or not?
I mean,
like, what's
are you going to
on?
say it? Are you going to say it in front of them?
Right.
To them.
I thought you said you wanted to break that pattern.
I thought you said you were going to do this more.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, okay, I am. I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to. So
here's your chance. Here
it's
you
just
go.
like a very much like show and tell kind of thing.
Yes.
Or show and prove kind of thing.
Show and prove.
You know?
You know, I 1000% agree with that. I do think that right now I too am in a season of tests. So cheers to us making it through these tests.
Yes, girl.
Okay?
With faith and kindness.
Yes, with faith and kindness. Right? Yeah. But we got it.
We got it. We got it. And something that I think will help us with that is we're going to transition into our three realists. And today, I feel like that maybe both of us feeling like that kind of led into why we wanted to, or not led into why, but I think it kind of definitely gave me the idea because I'm like, okay, I could use a little bit of, and I know you could use a little bit of.
Yeah.
So today's three realists is the three realist things about me from Tay. Tay's going to say the three realist things about me, and I'm going to say the three realist things about Tay. So do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yes, I will go first.
Yay! Let me get comfy.
Yes, okay. So the three realist things, and this was really difficult because I'm like, Tosh has so many more things than just three that are real as fuck about her that I love. So I'm just trying to condense these top three. One is your loyalty. I feel like you are such a rider for the ones that you love.
True.
And I mean, I can really only speak for me and like the things that I see that you do for others. But yeah, I just feel like you don't let, if somebody is not in the room and you hear somebody talking about something, it's like you're one of those people who will walk out or who will like check that. You know what? Scratch that. You're going to check that and then walk out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are definitely, as long as people are being good to you and you feel like the love is being reciprocated.
That part.
You right? No, like you are a writer. And even, I mean, I think that even in the past, like it's been sometimes to your own detriment. You know what I mean? Like you're just, I feel like you definitely, when you let people in and you're ready for that relationship, you are like 1,000% in it. True. And I've always loved that.
Oh, thanks.
I've always loved that, friend.
That's why I don't be letting people in, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, nah, I don't trust you that much yet.
But you know when they're like, when you locked in, ain't no switching up.
Yes, and that's
you,
why.
For sure.
You.
That is you.
Thank you.
Second realist thing about Tasha B is your fearlessness and your bravery.
Ooh.
Like, ooh. I think that, no, legit. I think that you stand so much, what's the term that they say? Like, speak truth to power, right? I feel like that's very much you. Even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when you doubt that, like, your words will make a difference, you do it anyway. Aww. You know what I mean? Like, you go in guns blazing if you have to, you know what I mean? And you do that shit anyways. And that is such a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, people don't have that, you know? And I feel like for a long time, I felt like that was something that I kind of suppressed a little bit too, you know? Like, I felt like I have to show up in this way of bravery in a different way, that it has to be in this nice little package. And I feel like you show up in, like, I don't care if it's in a good package or not. You about to get this fucking real.
Sometimes it's a little too real.
You about to get this real. But what I love is that you're always ready to fight and stand up for what you believe in, no matter what the situation is. And that's not just a cliche saying. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes. You really do that shit. And that's like, you don't see that every day, you know?
Yeah, and it ain't an easy life, let me tell you. But
it ain't easy being cheesy, girl.
Okay, but I don't know any other way to be. I'm sorry.
And then lastly, you're fun as fuck. Like, you're fun as fuck. I feel like you know how to catch a vibe, you know how to kick it and have a good ass time and be free and let loose. You allow people to be, or for me, allow me to be myself, and you also are yourself. And I feel like, you know, but you also know how to reel it in. Yeah. You also know how to reel it in.
Time and place.
Time and place. But, like, overall, I think just having fun is such a big deal, especially in adulthood. Because, you know, sometimes we feel like we have to put up these blockers or these boundaries on us just because we've reached a certain age. But I think that you have such a perfect, beautiful balance of those things. And it's just always a good time to be around you, you know, even when we're both going through shit, we're both going through hell, like, we still find that, like, fun aspect to whatever it is we're doing, even if it's just, you know, sitting down, talking to a microphone.
I mean, right? I mean, gotta laugh to keep from crying sometimes. So I will definitely say the same to that. Like, that's not on my list, but definitely same. Like, and I know as a Capricorn, we can be pretty serious. And I know it's been something that I've had to learn to do, and it's also something I'm not comfortable doing, you know, in certain spaces. Just like, if it's a work vibe, I know that I can be fun, but I gotta be work fun. You know what I mean? To where, like I was saying earlier, time and place. Time and place. Sometimes some jokes, laugh to yourself at work about that joke. Laugh to yourself about it. Text your friend about it. Text your partner about it. But at work, I try to keep it like, look, let's just keep it light. Yeah. Let's get this work done. We're in a good mood. Let's just work. Let's just get it done and we'll be fine. I'm cool with that at work. But thank you for the fun. Yes, Capricorns are fun.
Well, look, I'm speaking to you. Okay? You, Tasha B, who is also just happens to be a Capricorn. Period. Is very fun.
Because more than that. You're right. Right. Thank you.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. I love all of that, and honestly, I really needed to hear, like, the specific things you brought up. I feel like I really needed to hear, so thank you.
That's good.
Let's hope I could do the same. So again, same thing, same disclaimer. These are just 3 of the realest things about Tay. There's a lot. We could have a whole podcast about it. We really could do a whole episode on, girl, this is why you the shit.
No, for real. I was a whole, like, give your flowers episode. Yeah. Because it was very hard.
We could totally do that. You know, this could be a recurring thing where it's just like, we can't think of a 3 realists. How about the 3 realist things about this person?
Right. We'll just bring it back in the mix every now and then.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, so, the first one that I have is that Tay... Well, hold on. Let's rewind. I'll take that back. the first realist thing about Tay is that she is very considerate. She thinks of people and how things may affect them, and she's always checking in and holding space. And even when she has a lot on her plate, like there are times where Tay is like doing 1,000,001 things, has 5 deadlines, and she behind on all of them, and she'll still take time to be a caring friend or daughter or even coworker and offer to help somebody in a way that, again, sometimes to your own detriment, where it's just like you're doing things, you're running behind, and you're like, no, if I can support you, I will. And for me, that's something that I really love about you. It speaks to your loyalty, so it's kind of the same as what you said about me, but you're just a very considerate person. And even if I tell you, I could hit her up and be like, man, my tooth hurts, randomly. And then like the next day she'll be like, hey girl, how's your tooth? And just super like considerate, and you're just like, oh, she remembered my tooth was hurting. Yeah, it's a little better today. And it just feels so good. It makes me feel like, oh dang, like this person, really thinks about other people. Like I said, I can speak for myself, and I see how you treat people. Like you're a very considerate person. You take things, things about those people, and consider it when you're talking to them or when you're planning certain outings or events. You're like, oh, I know so and so has to do this and so we'll meet up with them later and we're gonna do this. You're just very thoughtful to everyone that I see you deal with. Thank you. I love it. It makes me feel like, oh, I like her. She's nice. She's very nice. Thank you. The second realist thing about Tay is she's gonna be honest. And that's something that for me, I really respect and I really appreciate, because there's been times where I'm like, I remember this one time I was trying on this dress and I was like this close to buying the dress. And I was feeling like, is it giving auntie? Maybe it's not. And I'm trying to give the dress a chance, y'all. I sent the picture to Tay, and she was like, girl, I feel like it's trying to not be auntie, but it's very auntie. And I'm just, yeah, yes. Everything you're kind of fearing about it, it's given. And so I didn't buy the dress. And again, it's one of those things to where you could have just placated me and just be like, no, girl, it's cute. Because I was in the dress when she said this. So
it's not just like the dress on a hanger.
Right. It was me in the dress, in the dressing room. And I could have, taken that however, whatever. You also know me though. Yeah. But I appreciate that. If I ask Tay, how is this hair? Is it da-da-da? I know that if you say it looks good, you mean it looks good. Or if it don't, you're gonna be like, well, have you tried? Let me see. I have a bobby pin. Maybe we could try to pin this side. Because I'm thinking maybe she ain't going to let you walk around with something in your teeth. She's not going to let you walk around with your lipstick over here. Like, Tay is going to let you know in a loving, considerate way, she is going to be honest with you. And even when, like, there's been times where I'm going through something in life and Tay could be like, ooh, I feel like maybe there's another way to think about that. Let me offer another perspective. And that is like, it's so crucial in life because you don't need people that are just gonna be like, yes, you're never wrong. Da-da-da. I don't want people in my life like that. I want people that are gonna be honest. If I'm fucking up, kindly, as kind as you can be, let me know, girl, you messing up. I don't know, because you said you wanted this, and now the way you're acting, it's like, do you want that? Yeah. I don't know. This isn't really in a line. And so you've helped me in so many, throughout the years, so many ways like that. Like, girl, I don't know. I feel like this isn't really in alignment with what you were telling me you wanted. Maybe try to rethink it. Maybe work it. Maybe try to say it like this. And I appreciate that. And even the fact that I can come to you about those type of things is a lot. Like it really helps in my life. Like, I really appreciate that. Yes. And the last realist thing, well, just the last one for today. Right. Is Tay is a boss. Oh, wow. Yes. She's gonna do it. And if she tells you it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done. That's Tay. Like, there are times where I'm like I mentioned how she has some deadlines. She may be late on the deadline, or not even late on the deadline, but like late on her. Yes, on procrastinated to the last. The deadline minute is approaching, and she's like, "Dang, I haven't really started on this." But the deadline is going to be met. That's the thing. She may be procrastinating. She may be like, "Oh shoot, the deadline's Wednesday, and I'm getting started Tuesday night." Yep. But it's gonna be done.
Pull an all-nighter? Yes, I will.
You can trust this person's word. Like, yeah, pull an all-nighter. You're gonna do what you need to do.
You're gonna do what I need to do.
You're gonna do what you need to do, and it's like on on the rare occasion that she can't, she's going to be communicative about it. She's going to own it and be like, hey, so sorry about this, da da da. But working with Taylor is awesome. She's very reliable. She's very, determined. She's very like bossy. She's going to get that shit done. She stands on it. I like how we both don't know the words. But she is bossy. She is the boss. And yes.
Thank you, Tasha, from one boss to another, okay? Because Tasha B. Boss.
Okay. I'm the biggest boss that you see.
Yeah.
Hey. That was a good voice.
Yes, I love that. I feel so good. Thank you, Tasha.
I know, so do I. We all rosy cheeked.
I know. I'm like, I couldn't stop smiling. I'm like, oh my God, my friend loves me.
Yes. We see each other.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Because I feel seen for real.
So that's good. Okay. We clearly needed that.
No, for real. Things have been things.
Things have been things.
They're thinging around.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Some, person.
I wonder what's happening in the universe
in
right
the cosmos?
now. Yeah.
I don't know. Things are retrograding, or maybe they're not retrograding, and everything's working exactly how it's supposed to work, and it's just fucked. I don't know.
I know it's Sagittarius season. What does that mean?
Ooh, you know what I mean? You know what? Never mind.
Also, sidebar, I realized that you said Taylor, and it made me really realize that you don't say my full name very often.
I don't. I really don't. I feel like when I'm saying when I'm talking to Dell and I'm like, oh, I'm going to meet Taylor, sometimes I'll say that. But like when I'm talking to you, I don't know, it just feels very like formal.
Yeah.
Like you being like, Latasha.
Right.
It's just like, whoa.
Right.
Is everything all right?
Right. Is everything
my government name?
No. Right. No, same like if like Rod were to say that, like I'm like, are we like not cool? Like what's going on?
Oh, you mad? Is it an attitude?
Right. Like damn. And honestly, really any like close people to me, like I'm like, what? Why?
No, because even on the thing, it says realest things about Tay Tay.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I'm like, huh. Like it caught my ear when you said it. I was like,
do you mean that? No.
Right.
Are you mad? What happened?
I was like, oh yes, Taylor. That is my name.
That is. Oh my God.
That is the full situation.
It is. I feel like Tay's more you though.
I do too.
It is. And you could be formal, whatever. But I feel like Tay is more like, hey, I'm Tay.
Tay.
Just fits. It fits better.
Thank you.
But transitioning into our weekly reel.
Let's do it.
Speaking of reel, we're going to transition.
We in it.
So today's topic on our weekly reel is living authentically. Now, I've broken it down into sections. So the first section is, what does it look like? So let's talk a little bit about what it looks like. I know to me, one thing that sticks out to me is like when a person is themselves, no matter who's in the room. They walk into the room and they are just them. For me, that's somebody living authentically. Whether I like you or not, I don't have to agree with the way you carry yourself or the way you dress or what you're talking about or the music you make or whatever it is. But for me, that's something where I'm like, that person is living authentically. They're living and doing exactly what they want to do in life.
Yes. I 100% agree with that. I feel like also living authentically to me can also mean, when you're making, I don't want to say bad decisions, but maybe just like decisions that aren't status quo, maybe, and somebody tries to call you out on them, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I did make that decision. Yeah, I am doing this in my life. Yes, I'm not married. I don't have kids, and I'm, 45, and I am traveling the world in my little shack home on wheels.
And that's what I do.
And that's what I do, and I love it. You know what I mean? Or that's what I do, and I hate it. You know what I mean? And that it is what it is. So I guess to a point, it would be being honest. You know what I mean? Being 100, keeping it 100. Like, I think that's also a part of living authentically.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that I have down here, which kind of piggybacks right off of that, is a person who is not destroyed by a negative opinion or judgment from another person. Because I know there's a lot of us that are, and I know I can definitely speak to myself, like even just last year, where hearing something from certain people, not just anybody, but, especially like family and people that you maybe respect or love, hearing judgment and criticism from those people can shake you.
Yes.
And make you question yourself, you know? So I think someone who's living authentically, the people that that come to mind when I think that is people that are like, when someone's like, hey, I don't like your music, or I think you're ugly, or I don't think you're cute. It's just like, okay, and I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, I'm me.
Cool. Still gonna do this. Still gonna make the songs. Still gonna do it. I don't know what you want. Like, great.
Yep.
Thanks for your opinion.
Yes.
And I love that. That's like, I feel like I'm stepping really more into that. But for me, it looks like that. And then the last thing I have down is just like a person who expresses themselves freely. Like, you say what you want to say. You don't feel like you need to hold back because so-and-so's here.
Yeah.
You know, you don't feel like you need to censor yourself because there's a certain person in the room. Now, granted, we all censor ourselves if we're on camera, we're being recorded, you know, that kind of thing. But I just
like
mean,
damn near all the time now.
I know, now everything is content.
Yeah.
But I just think it's something where, you know, just because a certain person walks into the room, you're not going to shrink yourself.
Yes, I agree. You know, this might be a little controversial, but somebody who I think has always, okay, no, not always, not always. Don't quote me, not always, but someone who I think did that in the very beginning of their career is, I mean, and I guess maybe now too, Kanye West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's his like one redeeming. I mean, I don't even know if it's redeeming. No,
it's
that's
just
a lot.
one.
It's just one
quality
thing where you can be like, you know what? Hey, at least Kanye's gonna Kanye.
He's gonna Kanye. Like, he always. It's like, it doesn't matter if he has people on his side or not. It doesn't matter if he's at the height of his career or not. It doesn't matter if he's in the right or wrong or not. Like, he's gonna be him. And I feel like it was very much. You know how he was doing the whole. You don't got the answer, Sway.
Yeah.
And then he came back and was like, Sway, you had the answers. Years and years later, right? I feel like that is another piece of like also being authentic is also knowing when to admit you're wrong, you know, is also you were public and loud about your feelings the first time, and now you're public and loud about your apology or about your, you know,
reeling it back.
Yes.
Yeah, you're reeling it back in, or what do they call it? Stepping back, backpedaling.
Exactly. Because I always am like, okay, it's like a two-parter. Like, can you be authentic when you can be authentic when you're standing in your truth and you're standing in your everything, but are you fully authentic when you're not standing in it when it's time to apologize or when it's time to admit you're wrong? You know? Like, I feel like we're always looking at the authenticity from like the positive light, you know? But it's like, you can also be authentic when shit is sour, you know?
You can also, like, I really like what you said about like, because there's a lot of things that we see happen where something is done wrong. Somebody does something to someone else, whether it be they said something, they did something, whatever. And then it seems like, you know, the thing that's done is public and the apology is private.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I feel like that's not matching. You don't get to embarrass and humiliate somebody in public and then apologize to them face to face at their house. You're gonna have to, like you said, stand in that authenticity and say, hey,
look,
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. And I think a lot of the times when there's like some type of scandal or whatever situation with like a celebrity and they don't do that. Like, there's this loud scandal about you and it's all everywhere. And then you're just like, well, I want my privacy at this time.
Like Diddy and Cassie?
Yeah. Or even like the whole Jonathan Majors thing where there's just like, you're saying nothing. You're saying nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you want everybody to be like,
you want...
it's okay now.
Yeah, you want
going normal.
You want your image cleaned up, but you're not doing anything to clean up the image. And it's like, I know you don't owe anything. You ain't got to do nothing. But it's one of those things to where if you want to be seen, and a lot of these people, like, you're a public figure, you're public, babe.
Yeah.
You're public. If you can't have a whole bunch of mess happen publicly and think you're gonna clean it up privately. It's just not gonna work like that. Maybe for some people, but for the majority of people on the internet, they want to see you be like, hey, that was a mess, y'all. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm learning from this. I'm in therapy. I'm growing. I take full accountability for my part in things, and I understand, you know, mistakes happen. Things happen. I know what I did wrong, and I'm gonna do better going forward. When people make statements like that, that's when I'm like, yes, I like that. Because you don't owe anybody a bunch of like, self-whipping your back in front of everybody. You ain't got to do
Once
that.
Once a month, you got to apologize.
Yeah, not that, but just some accountability. Like you said, stand in that authenticity even when you're wrong. Because it's like, you're not a bad person for being wrong. We all get it wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God. Everyone. Every single person. Think of the best person you know. Think of the best, the highest. Okay, who's somebody who everybody always talks about like just being that shining example of perfection in the human world, at least in our generation, or not even our generation, the 20/21st century. I would say one of the main ones, MLK.
Yeah.
Let's talk about MLK. MLK, so many amazing things he did and provided and helped and all these things. But also, was he perfect?
No.
Not at all. Did he have, little things on the side?
He had some blemishes. Let's just say that. He had blemishes.
Right, but he's only freaking human. We're only human. Like, it's really not fair to make it to where, like, just because you're living your authentic truth means that you're going to be a perfect person. No. I know so many.
Yeah, they don't go hand in hand.
No, I know people who are hella authentic. I respect it, but I still don't like them.
And yes, I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with everything. You're not if a lot of the most authentic people are not agreeable people. A lot of those people where it's like you either really love this person or you hate this person. That's an authentic person, because at the end of the day, part of being that authentic person is understanding and accepting that people might not like you. They might not like you. They might be like, ugh, I don't like her. You might walk in the room and say nothing, and they still might not like you. And that's none of your business. And that shouldn't stop you from being you. Because opinions, I mean, hey, everybody got one, you know? You just got to put yours before a random person's. Or even a significant person in your life. Like, it can't be about them. And that kind of leads me to my next part, which is, how do we get there?
Yes, I was going to ask that. I was going to say, how do we get there? How do we get to the point of where it's like, because I feel like we hear that a lot, right? In content about, don't care about what other people say. It doesn't matter. Like, put your things first. What matters to you first. It sounds great.
It does.
How the hell am I supposed to do that? Because the feelings are still hella real. The feelings of, damn, I am very much concerned about their perception of me. You know what I mean?
Or when they do have a fucked up perception of you, it still hurts your feelings. It's still like, dang, you see me like that? Gosh.
Right. Like, do I fix it? How do I fix it? Like, exactly. All these things. So, yeah, how do you do that? What's something that you do?
Something that's really helped me is taking the power away from the inner critic. I feel like a lot of us give that inner critic voice like it's the loudest voice, the one that we listen to, the one that we give the most energy to, the one that we consider that horrible opinion of things. You try out a new style or put on an outfit and that voice is loud. Like, I think it's ugly. I think I don't like it. Oh man, For me, at least, that voice was so loud and so like right here, and then it like had a lot of power, And once I started taking that voice, because there's no real way to like shut it off. That's why I kind of get irritated when I see like the wellness blogs and pages saying like, oh yeah, you just gotta stop being so mean to yourself. And it's like, yeah, that's easier said than done.
That's easy, yeah.
But what you gotta do is just take this as like, okay, girl, this is a part of you that maybe has a lot of fear. It comes from a place of, hey, remember that one time you wore those Skechers and everybody made fun of you at school? Let's not do that again. Let's not wear things that people may not like, because then they're gonna hurt our feelings and we're gonna be embarrassed and alienated, and we don't like that. That's where that voice is coming from. It wants to protect you. It does. A lot of it is ego. Your ego wants to protect you. It doesn't want you to feel blows to the ego. One of the other things was use your voice. Give yourself the right to have feelings, give yourself the right to say no, and give yourself the right to take up space, which are things that, again, easier said than done, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But it's one of those things to where I know that inner critic, when I say someone says something to me and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. And the inner critic is like, well, just whatever. Don't make a big deal out of it. You don't want to make a bigger scene. You don't want to cause more drama. You don't. But when I have a conversation with that critic and say, okay, yeah, that's cool, and I don't want to cause more drama. However, I do have a right to feel the way that I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that maybe you don't act on whatever. Maybe you don't let that person know or confront that person or whatever, but at least you give yourself the right to have feelings, to take up space, and to say no. Maybe you don't confront that person, but you don't like the way they're talking to you. So maybe you'll say, you know what? I'm actually not going to be able to make it tonight. Thank you for inviting me. So you didn't confront their feelings. However, there is the consequence of them speaking to you like that. You don't want to be around them.
Yes.
Give yourself the right to say no, have them feelings, and, you know, have that discussion with the inner critic that lets you know, like, look, I understand, like, we don't want to make drama. However, I also don't want to put myself through this.
Yes, I really love that. I really love that. I think something that I've been practicing in this, because I'm definitely somebody who is, you know, trying to every day, you know, trying to be better with like not letting other people's thoughts and feelings affect me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or their thoughts about me and how I live my life or how I move affect me and how I feel. Something that I do to create that space for myself is, or something that I've started to do, is writing letters to these people.
Ooh,
you know, like in my notes app, I've been pulling up and I'm like, oh my God, like recently somebody had a comment on my relationship between me and my mom. And I was like, oh, that's funny, because I would not want anything to do with the type of relationship you have with your mom or with your parents or, you know what I mean? Or really with anybody in your life. And I had all of these things I wanted to say. I wanted to call her. I wanted to say da-da-da-da-da, right? And I had to tap into something that my therapist told me, which was, what do you want out of this conversation? Ooh. Right? Like, okay, so the first thing I said was, well, I want them to know that I'm not a fucking punk. Like, I want them to know that they can't just talk shit about me and get away with it.
Okay, girl.
You know, or have these feelings about me and think that I'm not hearing it.
Yeah.
And something that she responded with was, okay, but why? Like, is once they know that you're not a punk, once they know that all these feelings that you have, what's the end result that you want? And I was like, I mean, I guess other than that, I don't really know. And she was like, okay, is this something, do you feel like you sharing this with them, all these feelings that you're going to say, is going to change their perspective of you? Do you think that it's going to like really change your relationship with them? And I was like, I mean, in reality, no, not really. And so she was like, okay, well, you know, get curious about that, sit with it, and, you know, go forward however you wish, you know? And something that I ended up doing was I ended up writing a letter in my notes app. I guess I say write a letter, but it wasn't so formal. It was just writing it down. Typed it out, what I would have said to this person. And it was a long, long ass note.
Yeah, it usually is.
I was like, and I sat with it, ate a little lunch, you know, walked around, cleaned up a little bit, you know, mad cleaned. And then I reread the letter and I was like, wow, reading this again is making me realize that a lot of what I'm saying or what I would have said to them is super defensive. Like, I'm being super defensive. I'm really putting out there, this is who I'm not. And this is what you have it fucked up. You have it all twisted. And it's like, girl, what? This is not for them.
Yeah. They don't even deserve all that.
Like, they don't even deserve that. But I needed to get that out in some way, shape, or form. I needed it to be out of my body. You know what I mean?
That part.
And I think that has definitely been a great actual like practice that I've been doing to help, you know, move in another direction, live more authentically with me without having to worry about what other people think of me, you know?
Because it ain't about them.
It's not. This is your journey.
Speaking of this is your journey, one of the other things with the how do I get there is learn who you are, spend time alone, and figure out what you like and do more of that. I know that me getting curious about those things, just kind of like, as I say, getting in touch with like your inner child, but really I feel like your inner child is like, we are who we are. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Help me out, friend.
Yes.
But I feel like we are who we are. You know what I mean? Like, we are essentially, you know, obviously we're not exactly the same, but like the things that, you know, pet peeves and little things, they stay with you. You know, there's a reason. Like, we are every version of ourselves, you know, from childhood to now. Like, you are your 19-year-old self. And I know, like, I tend to be mean when I think about, like, my 18-year-old self. Like, oh, I was so stupid. I was doing this. But it's like, girl, that person is still there. Don't be mean to them. They're not gone. That person is there still. So I like, instead of, like, get in touch with your inner child, I like to just, like, girl, spend some time alone, or person, whatever. Spend time alone with yourself. You know, what do you like? Ask yourself those questions. Like, what do I like? What did I like? And try some of those things. Maybe, you know, and if you don't know now, because I know there's a lot of people who don't have a lot of time for, you know, play or hobbies or art. Maybe you feel like, oh, I'm not an artist, but everybody wants to be creative. Everybody wants to try with a little paint, or, you know what I mean? Like, try to do something. Get a little drum set or a little drum.
We all sing in the shower. I know we do.
We all do something. You know, there's something that you can do. Try it, because there's no, like, the stakes are really low to try something. You don't have to post it. You don't have to tell anyone about it, but get curious about things that make you happy. Even if it's something as simple as, you know, something I used to really like. Is 17 magazine.
Hey,
I went through one of my old closets, and I had like a little stack of the ones I used to read. I subscribed to it.
Oh,
and I used to just love reading the little stuff and like doing the
little quizzes.
Yeah, buying the little hydrating face masks and the nail polish and just all this stuff. And it just really brought me back to, like, dang, I really used to make a big thing of, like, giving myself pedicures and, you know, picking nail polish colors and just little stuff like that. And it's like, those things can just really help you to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, this is very much our journey. And it very much is about you.
Yes.
Even if you have kids, even if you have a partner, it's still you. You're still you. That's still the first and oldest relationship we have is with ourselves.
Absolutely. I think something that, first off, that was a whole word. Like, I absolutely loved everything about that, especially the part of, you know, we really are all of our former versions of ourselves, even if we're not still practicing the same things we were practicing back then, or our morals have changed, or our standards have changed, or boundaries have changed. We still have those experiences in our body. You know what I mean? So I was like, yes to that. But I wanted to say that one of my friends, she is a mom and a wife, and she, you know, we recognize that it is a privilege to be able to take time and do something and try stuff out. You know what I mean? And something that she does is she involves her family in the things that she does for herself. You know, like her, she loves crafts, and so she'll invite her babies and her man to have like a craft day, or you know, or craft time or something like that. So it's like, you know, everybody gets involved, and she's still able to tap into something that she loves for her. You know, so I mean, I think that it's a little bit separated than necessarily being alone, but you still are finding time for that.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, like, finding time alone could be that shower. You take a shower and you sing in the shower. Or you take a shower. I know I was talking to someone on a shoot not too long ago, and they put a little, like, I guess it's not a whiteboard, but it's like a little, like, message board that you can, like, write with your finger in the shower. And
that's dope.
He was saying, like, he'll write, like, a note to his girlfriend or whatever in there. And, like, even stuff like that, or, like, journaling or reading a book. And it's like, once the kids go to bed and maybe your husband goes to bed, you can go ahead and read a little book. You know, what's your favorite genre? Maybe you like those urban erotic tales.
Right.
Or those,
shout out to Zane.
Yeah. Or maybe you like those, you know, sappy romance books that you can get at the grocery store, or manga, or whatever it is that you like. Do that and find a way, like you said, finding a way to take some moments, even if it's just like a cup of tea or a coffee, or something you can do in the car, on the car ride. Whatever those times, think of, okay, I'm alone when, boom, okay, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, something that I do is in the morning, I do 2 minutes of meditation, and I just do 3 pages of just like bleh writing, right? Like, just leave it all on the page. Sometimes I write hecka big. Sometimes I'm pissed. Sometimes I'm, you know, feeling sad or helpless or whatever the case may be, or grateful, but just do that. And it's like within, you know, the first 10 minutes of my day, that's done. And I took some time for me, and because, you know, sometimes we got to get up and go.
Gotta go.
You know?
Gotta jet.
So yeah, stealing away those little moments anytime that you can.
Yes. And I like that you mentioned that that whole process is just 10 minutes because I feel like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be long. Sometimes I have to tell myself that, like when I'm trying to read my book or do anything and I'm like, freak, I only have, 30 minutes before I have to head out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, but these 30 minutes, or this time that I'm about to spend after I leave the house is going to be all dedicated to something else.
Yep.
And helping somebody else make money or helping somebody else be comfortable or, whatever it is. And it's like, damn, I can't even take maybe just like 2 minutes. Like sometimes
Read
I think.
One paragraph.
Exactly.
One page.
Exactly. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I put these expectations on what my alone time has to look like.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Or what my solo time looks like. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I can just read one paragraph. That's okay. I can just, if I'm journaling or I'm writing something down, it can just be one sentence.
It could be one word.
It could be one word. And that sometimes baby steps, sometimes that is enough.
Yeah.
So I like that. I feel like that's a good message.
I love that. And I mean, it also creates like a low barrier or a low bar for entry where it's just kind of like, okay, it's daunting. I need to spend an hour alone. Jeez, who has that time? But
right.
like, if it's like, hey, take 2 minutes to just breathe.
Yep.
1 minute. Take 5 deep breaths before you wake up and go get your day started. If you can do that, that's beautiful, especially because it's way easier to do 5 deep breaths consistently than spend an hour alone meditating and stretching. Like that's, that's a lot. If you can do that, great. If you can't, honey, 5 deep breaths is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's okay. It's something. It's better than nothing.
It is. Sometimes that's all it takes to get in a zone about a decision you need to make. Or sometimes that's all it takes to change your mind about something. Yep. Sometimes that's all it takes to just kind of chill out, calm your mind about whatever. Drop them shoulders, baby, because them shoulders, I know I'm not the only one with a little crack, a little kick in the neck,
When I'm stressed out, my neck will really seize up on me. Like that's how I know I'm going through it. If I got to prop myself up in the bed, like, dang, my neck, I'm really stressing. But so yes. Yes to that. And then I guess one of the other things I wanted to talk about was things that hold us back, which you mentioned, like being a mom, or a parent. Like that can really, it eats into your time and your energy. So, that's something that holds us back. But also caring more about how we're perceived rather than how we feel about ourselves. And I feel like that's a big hold back for a lot of us because we want to be seen a certain way. You want to be seen as a good mom. You want to be seen as a professional. You want to be seen as a good wife or husband or, just a good person, period. You want your family to be proud. You want these people to see you and think, wow, look at them. They're so this and they're so that. You want it to feel like that. But when you care more about how you're looking to other people than how you're feeling to you, because I've been in a place in life where people were like, you're doing so well. That job you have, that's a great job. And I hate the job. I'm miserable. My way to the job, I come back from the job, the whole time. I'm miserable. I hate this job. There's nothing about this job that I enjoy. I'm dying inside. But everybody's like, that's a good job. Yeah, that's great.
That's a good man, Savannah.
Okay. And it's like
damn.
What matters more?
Yeah.
I remember feeling like, damn, I thought like what they wanted for me was the best for me. But like people want the best for you, but they want like the best on their version of what the best is.
Yes.
And
1,000%.
A lot of the times that what our family and friends and people want, they may mean well. It's not malicious, but it's like you don't know me the way I know me. So you can't. The person that wants the best for me is me.
Yep.
I want me to be happy. I want me to be peaceful. I want to be content. So I know what that feels like. I know how to get there. Or at the very least, I know what it ain't.
Okay.
And it ain't this job.
It ain't that.
I had to give that up, and it was tough. It was a tough journey. I don't want to say that it was, from there to here was just like, easy.
Yeah, that's not linear. Definitely was a linear journey.
It was not, but it was definitely a move I needed to make, and I'm glad. Like when I think back of that, I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't just stay where what looked good.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is. It resonates so much with me because same, like so many, well-intended people, thinking that they have your back. You're like, bro, I'm the main character of my story. I'm not the side character of yours.
Okay.
Like, I mean, maybe I am.
You definitely are.
Right. I'm the side character of yours, but I'm not the side character in my own story, right?
You're not the main character in my story.
Yeah, like, exactly. And please stop trying to make it so, because it's not.
It ain't.
And it sucks when you see somebody living as a side character in their own life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, and when you look back at those different periods of your life at 18-year-old you, at 25-year-old you, at whatever, you know what I mean? And you're like, damn, during that period, I was the side character. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I know for me, sometimes when I look back at certain times in my past, it does hurt. It does bring up, like, you know, some painful memories. It does bring up, like, things like even in childhood, you're like, oh my God, like, ooh, I was kind of going through it back then. I didn't know it for real. But I think, like, it kind of helps to propel you, for me anyways, it helps to propel me into what it is that I do want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What Absolutely. It is, how it is that I do want the rest of this path to look.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, look, I appreciate you guys for your thoughts and prayers and all the things.
Your well wishes.
Your well intentions. Yes, and I love the fact that you're looking at my life and you know, trying to see some portion of yourself in me, you know, and you're like, man, I wish you could make this decision instead, or man, I wish that you could do that instead, or whatever it may be. It's like, okay, yes, I see you're well intended, but at the same time, I need you to realize I have my own dreams, you know? And if you can't realize that, at the end of the day, I know I do.
Yeah.
I know I have my own dreams. I know that this life offers way more than working at Wells Fargo, okay? No shade to Wells Fargo, but
it wasn't it.
That was not my journey for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I think, like, what you said about it hurting when you look back on it, the reasons why it hurts me when I look back on that is I see that point in my life of me betraying myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, well, so-and-so thinks I should do this. Even though I'm working that job, I stayed there for months. And each day I went into that job and continued to give my energy, my time, 8-9 hours of my day to that. I was betraying myself for 8 or 9 hours a day. It's a betrayal because I wasn't happy. I was suffering. And I was doing that to myself.
Literally.
Voluntarily suffering. So it's like, it feels like a betrayal. And that's another thing that kind of holds us back when we, go against how we're feeling. Like, there's these times where you get these intuitions or you get these feelings about things and you betray yourself when you don't listen to that. When you know what I mean? Every single time that I have gotten this feeling about a person or a thing or whatever, and I am like, nah, it'll be fine, and betray that and go, it never ends well. Yeah. It usually is like, I end up on the other side of it like, dang, if only I would have just been like, I have a bad feeling about this. No, thank you. I would have saved myself this, and this. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that kind of holds you back from, living authentically and really owning your life. Like you said, like being that main character is you feeling like something's wrong with your intuition. Like it's wrong. Like, oh no, it's not. No, that intuition is there for a reason. It guides you. It is you.
It is you.
It is you.
Yeah, I think something that you said made me think, what I believe, the reason I think people are giving you their perceptions and giving you their ideas of what your life should look like is because they're seeing you live your life and they're trying to pinpoint where they went wrong in you. You know what I mean? Where they went wrong. They're seeing you live and they're like, oh, I wish I could have lived more authentically in this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we also have to recognize when we're getting those thoughts from and perceptions from others. It's like, okay, you're trying to share with me something that you wish you did. Mm-hmm. You're trying to share this with me because you kind of see a little bit of flaws in your current situation. And if you would have changed that back then, it would have been different now. Yeah. And it's like, sometimes, don't get me wrong, people aren't coming with you with love. They don't give a fuck. They're
Sometimes
just
it's a lot of projection.
Yes, it's
like, what's wrong with my life? How come you want to live like me? You should live like me. You ain't living right. And it's just like, what?
What are you talking about? Like, because honestly, if you enjoyed your life, would you be giving me all this in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't think you would. If you was living authentically, would you even really be caring about what I'm doing over here?
That part.
Yeah, so I don't know. there's that.
Another thing that I know that holds or held me back, and sometimes I still have to kind of redirect when this kind of comes up, is not accepting ourselves as we are and thinking that we need to like achieve something or get to a goal weight or get that one job to accept our greatness and to acknowledge what we are and who we are and love yourself, and really say like, no, I am a good person. I know I'm good at what I do. And you don't need that external validation or that title or that whatever it is, that one thing. And I think there's a lot of us that feel like, well, once I get here, that's when I'll really be the thing. And that's when I'll really be able to stand on, who I am. Once so-and-so taps me and says, hey, you're good, then I'll really feel good. And the crazy thing about that is when you have that mindset, you could be like that forever. It don't matter how many people, how many awards you get, how many people are like, wow, you're so great. You still will feel like, well, right, how much money you make, what your title is, there's always going to be something that to look up to, something to strive for. Yeah. So if you can't look at where you are right now in the beginning stages, in the middle stages, wherever you are, if you can't look right there and be like, no, you know what? I'm cool here. Like, I'm a good person here. Like, if I did nothing, I would still be a worthy person. I would still be a valuable person. I would still be a person worthy of love, a person worthy of respect, and for damn sure, a person worthy of self-love and self-respect. At the very fucking least, I deserve that just for being here.
Just for being
here.
Okay.
In this skin. I deserve to be like, no, girl, I love you. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's like, when I got to that point, I feel like my whole like world opened up. Like I felt like, dang, I don't need this, that, and so-and-so to believe that, or like you said, so-and-so to see that, I have a good relationship with so-and-so and we're doing great. Like you don't need that. You don't. If you know it in here, it don't matter who says something else. You'll be like, yeah, okay, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who it is. I know. Come on. What? And I feel like I'm starting to really live there more. Oh, like, it's hard to stay there all the time. We can't always be regulated.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's easier to get back, at least for me, to be like, like you said, you write that whole letter, you read it back, and you're just like, you know what? This person doesn't know me at all. What am I even doing?
At all.
They don't know me at all.
And I honestly don't plan on letting them get to know me more.
And there's a reason why. You going around doing X, Y, and Z and saying all this to so-and-so and them and that. That lets me know right there that, hey, I made a good choice in not really being super close with you.
Yep.
There's a reason. This right here is why.
Yep, it validates it. Boom. I actually made a good choice.
I actually made a really good choice in who's in here and who's out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Enjoy the view from way over there.
Right, exactly. How you going to hate outside the club?
You can't even get in.
Can't even get in. Oh, if I was you, I'd hate on me too.
And all of that is, the last one I had on here was low self-esteem. And I feel like all of that is, I feel like low self-esteem is like a symptom of all of those things that we do.
Yeah.
You place low value on yourself, you're super harsh and all these things in it. Of course you don't have low self-esteem because you're not pouring no esteem. Ain't no esteem.
Ain't no esteem.
It ain't esteemy.
Where the esteem
Where the esteem at? Where's it gonna come from? And I think a lot of us feel like, if the right person says the right thing to me, then I'll be loved. And it's like, honestly, that right person has to be you. It has to be you, babe.
Oh my God.
It should be. It deserves to be you. Like I said, you deserve love just for being here, just for being you. Love yourself, baby.
Okay.
You deserve it.
Look, and I feel like something that you are saying is like the word deserve, right? And I feel like a lot of people put their worth, like they think like, oh, I'm not worthy of it. You know what I mean? So if I'm not worthy of it, I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And I think that there's like I don't know, something definitely in America where it's like you have to work up to something in order to be worthy of it, right? Yeah. But I think that you using the word deserve is really intentional because it's like you don't have to do anything in order to deserve a good relationship with self. You don't have to do anything in order to deserve love. You don't have to do anything in order to deserve to be seen, like respected, exactly. Like when you come into this world, it's like it should just be, right? I mean, it's unfortunately it's not the case, but I feel like when you're on this journey, it's definitely something that we have to like unlearn, you know, and then rewire ourselves into that frame of mind.
Reparent that inner child and say, like, shut up, you ain't gonna be mean to me today.
Exactly.
And I mean, there are times where, you know, internally, you have to have those conversations where, you know, you stop that thought. Yeah. You know, it's not about, I feel like that's the first step with those negative thoughts and that, like, I don't deserve this or da-da-da. It's to stop it in its tracks and be like, whoa. Hey, these are my thoughts. Yeah. The one thing I can control in this world is my thoughts, my feelings. You know, I need to, I'm going to stop it. I can stop this. You know, realizing that. I feel like that was one of the things, again, that's something you realize and you're like, dang, I have the power to just be like, girl, not today. Not today. I got too much going on. Actually, I have a big day. Actually, I'm feeling good and I'm feeling cute, and I don't want to hear you telling me anything other than that.
Not a damn thing.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down on the critic today because, you know.
Chill.
You know, kind of one of them things, like, I like to treat my inner critic like the drunk uncle at the family cookout where it's just like, you know, they may say something right. They may say some funny stuff. But at the end of the day, we are taking what you're saying with a grain of salt, honey. Yeah. The smallest grain of salt. Because you just over there cutting up. Right. And we know bullshit. You always going to come with the bullshit. Here you come. All right. What you got to say? Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. You know, it is what it is. Trust the inner critic is going to be a critic. Right. They just always, that's what they do.
They're a little toxic.
They're toxic for sure. Yeah. You know, and sometimes they have good information. So it's not just like, nah, I ain't listening to you at all. But, you know, again, like, let me see. Start the thought. Don't like it. Turn it off.
Turn it off. Turn it off. And I feel like this is such a process. Like, I feel like most of the things we talk about on this show so far,
it's a process.
It's a process. Like, this whole thing is a journey.
Still processing it. Still. Like I said, I still have to stop those. Like, hold up.
Oh my God.
We're not doing that.
Right. Like, I feel like the things that we're talking about, we definitely don't have, like, it down pat.
Oh,
like,
no, not at all.
We are definitely still growing through it and sharing what we know up to this point. Because it is hard. That whole situation that I was describing just happened. Like, yeah. You feel me? Like, I had to reel it in just now. Like, it is... Oh.
Okay. Are we pausing? Yeah. Like it's a video. Oh, wait till you sit
down. But yeah, we definitely don't have it all down. No. But it's something to just remember when you're going through this is that be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. You know
that one.
Gentleness, because sometimes we can't be kind. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, and I think like, keeping that in mind of like, dude, like I know something I say a lot when I'm thinking of the thoughts, like, be nice to me.
Yeah.
Like, be nice to me. Especially because you think about like, you know, I'm married, so I think about my partner. I'm like, I want him to be nice to me. And he is. Yeah. But like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I want him to be nice to me. How the heck am I wanting this man to be nice to me and, you know, patient and all the things, even when I'm difficult, even when I'm a lot, even when I'm on his helmet, like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing it like that? Put it like that. I want him to be nice. Yeah. How come I can't be nice to myself? You asking this from somebody and you can't even give it to yourself? What are you doing? Be nice to you too. You want him to be nice to you. You should want you to be nice to you too, girl. So I, you know, start saying that to myself too. Like, be nice to me. Yes. God, I'm trying. Dang.
Yes. Jeez. Because this is a lot.
It's a lot. Life is freaking heavy as heck right now. So like, that's a big reason why, like, be kind to yourself. Don't just take in a bunch of negative information. You have the power. Put that phone down. Log off. It's okay to take a break and unplug and just take care of yourself or do nothing. Rest. Take a nap. Go outside. Walk your dog. Walk yourself. It's okay to do that. It's okay. It's okay. You do not owe anybody suffering, and your suffering helps no one.
Say it again. Your suffering helps no one. It helps
nobody.
And these, when you're practicing these things that we're talking about, or you know, it's not gonna look like you're gonna be smiling while you're writing in your journal. You're gonna be, you know, just cheesing when you're closing your eyes, taking your 5 breaths in the morning. Like, sometimes you do it in tears. Sometimes you do it screaming and kicking. Sometimes it looks ugly, you know, and it feels bad. Like, I feel like sometimes when we talk about it, it's easy to remember some of the things, you know, now that we are kind of deeper in it.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we know how to regulate it. We kind of know what to do instantly. But also, even still, even after doing it for so long, there are still times where you were like, I'll burn this whole shit down.
Okay.
Like,
there are still times where I need a good car scream.
Yes.
Just like, it's just me in here.
Yes. I feel like I can't stop crying. Why?
What's going on? I mean,
what's happening?
You know, it's kind of like the thing, you know, about like therapy. You know, everyone talks about therapy. Therapy's gonna help you. Da-da-da. There are some times where after a therapy session, you feel worse.
Oh my God.
You feel raw.
Yeah.
You feel like you maybe had a scab that was nice and it was cool. Mm-hmm. And the therapy session rips off that scab. And now you're just like, wow, I don't know if that helped me.
And the scab was the size of your arm.
Like, right. And it was just like a scab that your body spent so long on. And it's, you know, it's there. It may not be perfect. It may not be cute, but that scab was helping.
Yep.
And the therapy session, one question from a therapist could be like,
yep.
And you're like, dang. Now I just got an open sore. Now I'm just raw and vulnerable. And like you said, I can't stop crying. Yep. And I'm just, every little thing feels like, well, why'd you do that? Mm-hmm. Did you scoot away because you're mad? Oh God, everyone's mad. Like, sometimes it be like that.
Everyone hates me.
Okay.
I hate me.
No, remember that little, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, I guess I'll go eat dirt.
Hey. That's how it feels.
That's
just
how
bury
it
myself.
Feels sometimes.
Good night forever. Like
sometimes, yes. And I swear there are times it's just like isolation.
Yeah, no.
And isolate.
And that's it. But I feel like that right there, those reasons are why, you know, we say start small, you know, because
baby steps.
Baby steps. It's okay to just start one thing at a time. Matter of fact, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to do every single thing that we're talking about all at once.
Yeah.
Because when you fail at it, you're going to feel worthless.
You're going to feel
And I speak
worse.
From experience.
Yes.
Like
that, and then like for me, avoid anything that's quick fix. Quick ways, 3-5 quick tips. Like, no, all that stuff, no. It's a life change.
Yeah.
Anything that you're like, oh, I want to better myself in this way or that way. I want to be more like this. I want to be more like that. You got to do that and know that if you're going to change your life, you're going to have to do that every day. So like she was saying, like you got to start it low. Start it low. Maybe you take one deep breath before you get out of bed. If you can do that every day, I feel like that's good. Because then if you can consistently do that for, 3 months, now after 3 months, maybe you want to do 5. Maybe you want to meditate. Maybe now after that deep breath, now you get up and you're inspired to add something else to the routine. And that is how you make change in your life. That's not how you do that thing where like, I'm on a diet or I'm on a detox, I'm on a cleanse. Like all that stuff is not a life change. The life change is what's going to sustain you. That's what's going to change you and really transform your life, not some, fad or some challenge that you're the water challenge. Like, no, just drink more water, honey. Drink more water. Add 2 more cups a day. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And I think like we were mentioning earlier, this journey is not linear. It's not going to look like, okay, like you said, a challenge, 30 days straight, I'm going to do this, da-da-da. That might work, but what about the next 30 and the next 30 and the next 30? Sometimes it's like sometimes I feel like I'm doing everything so perfect. I feel so good. Everything's
I'm all
right.
inspired. I'm doing all the great things.
And then the very next day, not because even anything really happened, just because, I don't know, maybe mentally I was exhausted. A little bit more everywhere. Yeah. And I feel like, wow, how is it that yesterday I felt like the perfect human being and today I'm just a fucking puddle?
Right.
Like, what happened?
Or there are times where I'm like thinking about my stuff, all the like, oh yeah, like I'm going to read this, I'm going to write that, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do that. And then there's some days you just wake up and you're just like, I just don't feel like doing any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel low vibrational and like I just want to sit here and rot in the bed.
Yes.
I don't want to get up.
Yes.
I don't want to do anything. I want to wait till the last minute possible before I get up and do something.
Yes.
And that's okay too.
It totally is. It totally is.
Okay. Take that one breath. Maybe you got up to 8 deep breaths, but then on that day, 1. I got 1 today. Today I got 1, so I'm gonna give it a good one, and then I'm gonna go go back to sleep. No,
no, literally. I'm gonna go back to bed and try and pretend that the day is starting over when I wake up again. Like,
yeah,
you know, because I definitely feel that. I definitely feel that sometimes I'm like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I know that my work is good. I know that da da da. And then next I'd be like, what did they say they thought about me 5 years ago?
Why?
And why?
But something I really like about journaling that I do very often is reread my journal entries. And I love that because on those days where I'm like feeling super affirmed and I'm feeling like, yes, I also like to journal on those days and just write down exactly, today I'm feeling so good. I got this going and that going. I'm just so proud of myself for this and that and da 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 da. So then on those days where I'm feeling like, you reread that journal entry and you're like, ooh, okay. It's like a love note from me to me.
Yes.
And it's like, I needed that. Thank you. That's right. I did do that. I did say that. Okay. Maybe I am that girl. And it may not change the whole day around, but it is a little bit of extra like, you're good. Yeah. I know today sucks, but you don't.
Yeah.
And it's just like that can just take you through to where it's like, okay, it's just today. Let me just breathe and make it through and then go to bed and start over tomorrow.
That part.
Something else I wanted to talk about, though, was living authentically. What does it feel like? So I want to leave them with, or leave everybody with, what does it feel like? So I know for me, some of the things on the days where I feel like, yes, I'm living authentically, or when I can recall something, is it feels like you feel inner peace about it. Like whether it's a conversation you have with somebody and the way you carried yourself in it, if you think about, okay, here's what I said, here's why I said it, here's how I was feeling, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with how I handled that situation. I'm at peace at the decision that I made, or I'm at peace with, maybe not saying anything. I'm at peace with distancing myself from that person or that place. Another thing is just ease. It feels easy. It feels like you're being instead of trying to be. Like, I'm trying, let me try to be nice. Like, I felt like I was nice.
Yeah. I'm
at peace with how that was. I was just being. Feels easy, and that you're making choices instead of reacting. To where it's like, oh, well, I only said that because she said that. Well, for me, I know I'm living authentically, and I'm like, I'm grounded because maybe that person tried to try it. Because, people tried. They tried. That person tried, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let that go right on by. Okay.
All right.
Sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes you just go, oh, okay.
Bet.
Let me regulate internally.
Yes.
And not let this throw me off my game, and let me make a choice rather than just knee-jerking and being like, what? You know what I mean? Instead of that, I went ahead and was like, okay, hold on. What do we want to do? Let me ask myself. Take my time, slow things down. What do I want to do? I want to react to this person. If I react, X, Y, and Z might happen. This, that. Probably not. More drama than it's worth. Let's just let this person be who they are. And it is what it is. And lastly, doing things because we want to, not because we have to, or because how's it going to look if I don't do it, or what are they going to think? I don't want so-and-so to feel like X, Y, and Z. When you think about why you did something, why you made a choice to do something or not do something, was it because you wanted to do it, or was it because of any other factor, anyone else?
Yeah. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Bring it back here.
Bring it back. I feel like those are all really good. I think how I feel when I'm, living authentically, sometimes, I'll be 100% honest. Sometimes it feels like boredom, you know what I mean? And I think that that's because I'm still recovering from always trying to move and shake in a way that is pleasing to others, or my brain is was moving too fast to only think about me. It's thinking about all this other shit. So now it's like calming down, and it has less to focus on. My body has less to do because I'm not trying to make sure I'm showing up for A, B, C, and D in a physical way. You know what I mean? And so sometimes it's like, nothing to do. You know what I mean? Just me. And I think that I'm still working on, is it boredom or is it peace? So sometimes it feels like that. I think another feeling that I feel is relaxed, you know? And I think it kind of goes in hand with that boredom feeling or that peace feeling, is just feeling like maybe like a relaxed confidence, you know? Like I
that
feel
ease.
Yes, that ease,
like,
exactly.
I'm just gonna be.
Yeah. Like I'm relaxed, I'm chilling, and I'm like confident in that.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like another thing that I've struggled with is feeling like I should be doing something. Like I know I've checked all the lists.
That's capitalism, baby.
Okay.
What are you producing?
Yeah, exactly. I know I checked all the boxes off of for my personal stuff, but what about all the stuff that I should be doing for others? You know what I mean? Oh, I should be doing that. Oh, I could be doing that. Oh man, like, you know what I mean? And breaking away from that, it feels more like, okay, I'm confident in chilling. I'm confident in doing whatever I'm confident in relaxing.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm confident right where I am.
Right where I'm at. So I feel like those two are probably like the top things for me when I feel the most authentic.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, at peace and chill and confident.
Yeah. And that, that's, yeah. I know for me, the making choices instead of reacting, because I feel like being in survival mode, you're reacting to things. You're like, oh, this is over here, so I got to over here. Oh, so-and-so did this, so I got to do that. Oh, they acting like that, so now I got to be like this. And it's like, kind of like what you said, like slowing it down. Like I remember that's one of the first really good pieces of advice that I got from therapy was like, why do you feel like, I don't know what I was talking to her about. I think it was like a decision, and I was having anxiety about it, and I was talking all fast, and she was like, why don't you slow down? When do you need to make this decision by? And it's like, probably not till next week sometimes. Like, okay, so where's the fire with this then? Why you're coming in here acting like they got a bomb strapped to your mama right now?
Yeah, you're like, it feels like that.
And you know, and that is, it's like I'm in survival mode, so it does feel like that. It feels like life or death, but it's not. It's not. And when you slow things down, like I know there are times where I'm like, you know, in the middle of one audition and I get an email about another audition, and now I'm reading the breakdown about and it's just like, whoa. You got this audition. Let's do what we're doing now. And when we're done with this, we'll go ahead and check on that.
Yes.
And I have, it's like literally like an inner parent. Like I have to tell myself, like I'll be like, girl, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
It like feels like presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, like being present.
Yes. I love that. Being present in the moment, which is so hard, especially now with technology, and people can, you know, text you and email you, and there's all these notifications, and you're just like, yeah. I just need some time to just, let me just, So, yeah, that ease, that space, that inner peace that we speak of. You know, that elusive inner peace that sometimes feels like it evades us when we need it the most.
That part. That fucking part.
But, you know, part of this journey is learning that peace is always there, waiting for you. Like it's you know, it's like a room in your house. When you leave the house, the room don't leave. The room is still there for when you're ready to open that door, come on in and sit on down. That peace is right there, baby. It's a room. It's right here.
Come on, metaphor. Always. I love that.
You know me.
Tasha gonna give you a metaphor, all right? And it's gonna hit. It's gonna stick like grits,
okay,
all right?
I heard that. Hopefully.
No, for real, it does. It does.
But yeah, that's all I had. I went through my little bullet point notes.
Well, perfect. Then with that, we will go ahead and close out. Today's conversation was excellent.
It was. I feel like I really needed it, and I feel a lot lighter.
Same. Yeah.
I feel great.
Shimmy of freedom.
Yes.
Well, y'all can stay connected with us. We want you to stay connected with us. We're building up our community. So we're going to give you some ways where you can access us. You can find us at How to Be Real. That's how to the letter B real on Instagram and TikTok. And at our personal pages, I am at justsay_tay.
And I am at the THE Tasha B, just the letter B.
Yes, and we also want to hear from you. Like seriously, we need some listener letters.
We really do.
You feel me? We're trying to
add that segment in there.
Yeah, we do. So if you have any questions, or you want some advice, or you just want to say hey please send us an email at heyhowtobereal@gmail.com. And you can find all of this info linked in our show notes of this episode. And remember, we are not therapists. We just have them. So coming to you with love all times.
Yes.
And Tosh, you're going to close us out with our little random reel.
Yes. So this random reel, I feel like, was a message I actually wrote this morning in my morning pages. Trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. Trust your knowing. Trust your intuition. Whatever you want to call it, it's there to guide you. Listen to it.
Mic drop. Mic drop. I'm going to take that. I take that to heart.
Girl, I needed it, so I'm offering it as well.
Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yes.
We're excited for the journey that we're on so far. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, which has launched now.
Yes, finally.
Yes. So How to Be Real on YouTube. Our visuals are dropping. We're still getting our schedule into how often we're dropping them, but just go check periodically when you get a new podcast notification.
Let you know. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that. We'll post it all there.
You'll definitely know.
Yes.
Turn notifications on. And with that, stay real.
Bye.